All right, we've got breaking news from this Perth Mint scandal. We're going to cut over to some mainstream media footage that was released yesterday.
These four corners revealing the state government-owned mint complied with industry standards of 99.99% purity.
Silver was added to bring that non-gold component down from 99.996% to 99.992%.
Alrighty, so let me get this right, Rubes.
Do you want me to replay it there?
To 99.992%.
I'm trying to break it down. So they're saying that they produced 99.992 gold instead of 99.996 gold. So it's still 49's gold.
Still 49's gold on a bar stamped 49's gold.
So where's the breaking news here?
Sorry, I might have mucked something up here.
Okay, look, we are trying to highlight the idiocracy of this. From a retail level, and this is where people are starting to boil, they're saying, I've bought a Perth Mint bar, it's not pure, it's not what they advertised. If you look on get your Perth Mint bar out, whether it's a 1 gram bar or a kilo bar, it doesn't matter. Grab it out and you'll see that it's stamped 99.99. They don't ever talk about the 0.01% in there and what it is. We just know that there are impurities in there. And we have this conversation in the shop semi-frequently. All of them do 99.99. And it doesn't matter whether you're buying from PAMP, Perth Mint, Valcambi, one of our locally produced. We can go through the whole lot.
Yes, there's the odd time that Canadians or whatever will go through to a 5.9s, but as a staple, if you're buying bullion, it's going to be 4.9s.
If you like, the industry standard is 4.9's gold.
That's it.
So we're talking about this 0.01% that is irrelevant from particularly a retail level because we only ever go to 4.9s. It's that simple. Now, in this example that they're making a big deal out of, they're talking about a delivery contract with the Shanghai Gold Exchange. Now, the Shanghai Gold Exchange have said, we don't want it, we want it 4.9s. That's their standard for a grade 1 bar. We're happy with 4.9s. The 0.01%, we actually don't want to see any more than, and there's lots of decimal places here, so excuse me if I stumble. So for silver, and I'm actually reading off their thing, but I haven't got my eyes on. It's got to be no more than 0.005% silver, or 0.002% copper, or 0.002% iron, or 0.001% lead, or 0.002% bismuth, or 0.001% antimony. And I actually don't even know what that is, but that's okay, I'm not required to. So in this example that the media is actually making a big deal out of, Perth Mint, it sounds like, and that clip that you saw was actually the CEO of Perth Mint, they've actually produced a bar that has, instead of being...
A single bar of the entire delivery, by the way, not the entire delivery. This right. One bar has flagged up.
At this stage, all we know of is one bar, and instead of it being 99.995... No, hang on.
Even further than that.
It's and out of that bar... Instead of being less than 0.005% silver, it is 0.008%
potentially
8% silver. And they've rejected it on those grounds. I don't care what that 0.01% is made up of. They could make it up out of lettuce leaves for all I care about. But the gold exchange has said these are our requirements, and that one bar has fallen below that for whatever reason. But they've still accepted it because it's still 4.9's gold, which is what their requirement is. They've just gone a bit argy-bargy over this other one. Honestly, who cares what the 0.1%, sorry, not 0.1%,
no.
0.01% is made up of? It's stamped, from a retail level particularly, it's been stamped as 4.9s. I don't care. And to be honest, out of all those metals that they've mentioned there, I'd actually be quite happy if all the 0.01 was made up of silver.
Yeah, the stacker side of me doesn't actually mind if that tiny little fraction was actually silver, but you know.
Now look, was it a dumb policy to try and play around with that 0.01? I would argue absolutely that was a really dopey thing to do.
Pun intended?
Yeah, actually it wasn't. Yeah, it fits in this case. But like, at the end of the day, who cares? I'll guarantee this is what happens when you allow bean counters to run the operation, because they don't think about the further impacts. They're just looking at the bottom line. And by the numbers on the mainstream media, and again, I'm not privy to these numbers, and I haven't gone researching them, it saved them somewhere in the vicinity of $600,000 a year, which is quite a lot of money. I can see the attraction, but my argument right from the start would have been, you're going to cause the situation that we're currently standing in right now. It's a PR disaster, but that's it. And that's what it's been for. That's what it is being for the Perth Mint. It is a PR disaster. Why haven't they exported it back? I don't believe you can consider this an export. I don't know why they sent it back. My suggestion is that it's not, even the Shanghai Gold Exchange is not saying it's a big deal. It's out of tolerances. Look, just knock a couple of bucks off the price and we'll work it out from there, because they still recognise it's still 4/9 gold.
And as we said yesterday, have continued to buy from them since.
So, look, to say this is a storm in a teacup is I think it's over-exaggerating it.
The 4/9 product that is advertised as 4/9s, that tests through as 4/9s, the Perth Mint made as 4/9s, is 4/9s.
And I've never yet, in all my years, had someone say, 99.99. What's that 0.01 made up of? Ooh, no. Gee, silver.
Ooh. Yeah, stackers don't tend to think like that.
Like, who cares? Yeah. It's 99.9. It's 4/9s. That's what we've got to have. The other one that really made me smile is, and I can't remember which mainstream media said it, but it was something along the lines of they were making a big deal how this person had gone to the Perth Mint and they'd bought it by purely showing their ID. Really? They complied with the law and they were allowed to buy it. It's the equivalent of saying...
To purchase a legal product
It's the purchase of saying it's the equivalent of saying somebody walked into a service station and bought a packet of smokes and all they had to do was show their driver's licence to prove they were over 18. Well, no joke. Like, what else did you want out of them? They've complied with the law. Like, well, I'm speechless. I don't know what else to add to that.
Well, that's it. Where do you draw the line between, just buying the product, any product down at the supermarket? It's a legal product. He didn't do anything from that transaction with Perth Mint. There's nothing wrong there. So, yeah.
The government requires us to take ID. We took ID, therefore the transaction can occur.
It all comes down to phrase and, like how you pitch some of these things. And I think that was a lot of people's issues with, and a little bit ours as well, with the kind of the tone of the report it was very much phrased as, this kind of criminal item when, it's a piece of metal. it's a great piece of metal.
That's right.
And that's it, it works well for a lot of things. But at the end of the day, there's nothing wrong with walking in and buying some gold.
It is literally a piece of metal. It doesn't do anything. It sits there and preserves your wealth. That's it. And in fact, Reuben and I were jokingly saying, and we still may do it, that if you look at the first part of that Four Corners, I think it's the first part, that Four Corners program, documentary, they go through all these reasons why it's so bad to people to have gold. It's a physical asset. It's untraceable. It preserves your wealth.
You can bury it in the backyard and it won't rot.
Yeah, that's right. It won't break down like cash does. Yeah, this is the reasons that we buy them. Like, they ran an advert for the precious metals industry. It's just they were saying that's a negative, and I'm going, well, they're the exact reasons why I buy it. I'm not doing anything illegal by it, but I want to protect my wealth. I don't want anyone else knowing about it. I don't want it to break down and rot in the backyard. That's the whole reason that people get uptight when there's problems with their numismatics, because it's become damaged. A lump of gold does not become damaged. It's not worth less.
All about perspective, all about tone.
So, look, we've gone on way too long on this, but this is going to keep raising its head for the next few weeks. If it goes to a Royal Commission, which I'll be amazed at, that's a political stunt by the opposition in WA. But if it did go to a Royal Commission, it's going to raise its head for a few years. But honestly, this will blow over in the next news cycle. I'm pretty much speechless that it's got to this stage. And honestly, I believe that the average Australian or the average person around the world can see through this when they run it through their own logic check filter. It's so ridiculous that it's not funny.
That's it. We appreciate all your comments on the previous video. If you do have any more from this one, feel free to pop them down below.
Absolutely.
And yeah, we'll keep you posted if anything new and scandalous evolves out of the situation. So thank you very much for watching. We will see you in the next video.
Have fun.